Dear friends, a Muslim man was thrown into the raging sea by a group of disbelievers during a stormy voyage. But what happened next was beyond imagination. This helpless believer witnessed such a miraculous event that your heart will surely tremble upon hearing it. What miracle did Allah show him in that moment of despair? Something no human could ever expect. And what became of those who threw him overboard? Islamic history is filled with astonishing incidents that remind us of Allah's infinite power and boundless mercy. This story teaches us that Allah's help can arrive at any moment, in any situation. No matter how difficult life gets, a true believer must hold firmly to faith and place complete trust in Allah. So before we begin, if you trust in Allah, then give this video a like and subscribe to help spread the light of Islam. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. The incident took place during a sea voyage. The ship was carrying merchants and goods. Everything was going smoothly until suddenly a violent storm hit the sea. The ship began to sway and drift in the water, raising fears of its sinking. At that moment, the captain addressed everyone saying, "The ship has become too heavy. To survive, we must throw some cargo into the sea to lighten the load and reach the shore safely. After all, our lives are far more valuable than any merchandise." Everyone agreed. Then someone said, "This new merchant has brought a lot of goods. If we only throw his cargo, we might all survive." The rest of the merchants agreed to this as well. But the new merchant protested, saying, "Why only my cargo? If everyone contributes a little, the loss will be shared, and everyone's life will be saved." But no one listened to him. Instead, they united against him, argued, and eventually threw him into the sea along with his belongings. They then continued their voyage safely. Meanwhile, the merchant who was cast into the sea fought desperately against the waves, but at last, exhausted, he lost consciousness. When he regained it after a while, he discovered that the waves had carried him to an unknown, deserted island. Silence surrounded him. No sign of human life, only dense forest and endless water. Despite his despair, he turned to Allah for help. "Ya Allah, save me in this difficult situation, protect me." He spent several days on that lonely island. He survived by eating fruits from the trees and sometimes hunting rabbits. Eventually, he found a sweet water stream, like a spring from where he could drink. To protect himself from the heat of the day and the cold of the night, he built a small hut using wood from the forest. Life was just beginning to return to some peace. But one day, while cooking on the stove, the fire accidentally caught onto his little hut. Being made of wood, the fire spread rapidly, and despite his efforts, he couldn't extinguish it. In a short time, the only shelter he had built was reduced to ashes. After all the hardship, this disaster seemed to shatter all his hopes. He sat down on the ground. Looking up at the sky, he cried out, "O Allah, have you kept all the sorrow just for me? First, I was unjustly thrown off the ship, and now even this little hut is burned. Have you forgotten me?" These questions often come to our minds too, don't they? Whenever misfortune strikes, we question Allah. Why does everything happen to me? That merchant also complained to Allah. Then, overwhelmed by hunger and sorrow, he quietly lay down. But the next morning, something incredible happened. He opened his eyes and saw a ship approaching from the sea, and a few people had arrived on the island to rescue him. He was shocked. "How did you know I was here?" In response, they said, "We saw smoke rising from a distance. We thought someone might be in trouble and asking for help, so we came." Hearing this, the merchant burst into tears. He fell into prostration and said, "O Allah, what I had thought was wrong. You burned down my little hut only to send me a new life." As soon as he boarded the ship, the merchant offered his gratitude to Allah. He was even more shocked to learn that the ship he had been thrown off never made it to its destination. Sea pirates attacked that ship, looted all the cargo, and killed every merchant on board. Only the merchant who was unjustly thrown overboard survived. On hearing this, he broke down in tears once again. He fell in prostration before Allah and said, "O Allah, whatever you do, You do for the best. We humans only understand it when you finally lead us to the door of your mercy. My friends, there are moments in all of our lives when everything feels dark, like the moment our small hut burns down. But in reality, perhaps Allah is using that very smoke to open a new door of mercy for us. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, when Allah opens the door of supplication for someone, He also opens the doors of mercy for him. Asking Allah for well-being is the best of all requests. True patience doesn't mean we ask for nothing. Rather, it means we shouldn't cry over what we didn't get and forget the blessings we already have. Whatever Allah has given us is truly the best for us. So, brothers and sisters, if any door closes in your life, do not lose hope. If your little hut burns down, know that Allah is planning to give you something far greater